And thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Ryan Cummings.
And I'm Amy Satowski. Today, Governor Whitmer extended her stay-at-home order through May 15th.
She asked that people still limit their travel, of course, but also lifted some of the more contested parts of her original order. Our Doug Reardon is live at home to tell us what changed today. Doug.
Yeah, good evening, guys. And again, this will now go through the middle of the next month. And here are a couple of things that this order now does or changes from the original order. It's now masks are required. It's not a suggestion anymore. You have to wear them if you're going into places like supermarkets, pharmacies, anywhere that's close quarters, that's in public. But now also landscapers, gardeners, people like lawn care services, they can all go back to work, as well as employees at big box retail garden centers as well. We know there have been a lot of uproar over that stipulation of the original order, and there are a lot of recreational activities now available for people to do: motorized boating, golf without carts. So life is starting to return to normal a little bit. But also today there was a special legislative meeting held in Lansing on some efforts to restrict the governor's powers, and there are some things from that session we're still waiting to hear on tonight.
Today's announcement is a step forward. There is and will be light at the end of the tunnel.
As Michigan's numbers begin to plateau on Friday, Governor Gretchen Whitmer extended the state's stay-home order until May 15th. But she also made some key changes that signaled parts of the economy are ready to slowly open back up.
We will consider this the preliminary stage of economic re-engagement.
The order allows for motorized boating and golfing with no carts. Landscapers can go back to work now as long as employees social distance from clients and each other. And lawn and garden centers can open back up as long as workers wear protective equipment. In fact, the new order requires everyone wear a mask when in stores and shops, although there's no criminal penalty for not doing so.
So as hard as this moment is for us right now, as isolated as we feel, and as stressed as we are about getting back to work, reopening up businesses, we know that if we do it too fast, a second wave is likely and would be even more devastating than the moment that we are in.
But in Lansing, some Republican lawmakers are getting restless for a faster change.
We have to start asking ourselves in Michigan, what activities can we do safely? That's what other states are doing. Michigan is an outlier.
Michigan House Speaker Lee Chatfield and his colleagues in the Republican-led House and Senate took up two bills Friday to limit the governor's powers. The first repeals the 1945 Emergency Powers of the Governor Act, giving the executive branch the sole power to declare a state of emergency. If passed, that responsibility would be shared between the governor and the legislature. The second bill aims to keep an emergency order in place for 14 days instead of the current 28-day duration.
This is not about being Republican or Democrat, and this is about holding government to a higher standard.
Lawmakers on Friday also approved a committee to review the governor's response to the pandemic that, just a day before the vote, handed Michigan its highest single-day jump in cases since April 14th.
We will make informed decisions in the coming days about potential further economic re-engagement, but it depends on you.
And so right now, guys, we know that both of those resolutions have passed in the House. We're still waiting on word for them to make their way through the rest of the legislature. But they are largely symbolic because the governor has already said she plans to veto both of those bills aimed at limiting her power. And while they both Republicans both hold a majority in the House and the Senate, they just don't have that two-thirds majority needed to overturn a veto. One other thing from this order, guys, a lot of people, it is summer. People are wanting to get out to any other properties that they may have in Michigan. The governor said traveling to those properties now is okay, but she said she doesn't recommend it. Do it only if it's necessary because those hospitals in more rural areas of our state simply are not equipped to handle the surge in cases that could come with people traveling once again. Live tonight, Doug Reardon, Fox 17 News.
All right. Thank you, Doug. And as he mentioned,